Listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
Hey guys, welcome to Lifestyle Central, your one-stop shop for everything life and style.
On this show, we'll be talking about all the latest trends, the biggest news, and the best places.
So sit back, relax, call a friend, and enjoy.
Oh, by the way, my name is Winfrey Daniel Kolo.
And my name is Adro Esigbone, and this show is going to be boom shakalaka. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday right here. Yay, Mr. Producer, that was fresh. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, members of the universe. Welcome to Lifestyle Central, your one-stop shop for everything life and style.
I was actually about to join you and say, good evening, people of the terrestrial home.
What?
Okay.
Well, this is another amazing show that we have for you today.
Definitely.
This is our third show of the year.
It's the same show, but yeah, okay.
Winfrey.
Just saying, oh no.
I mean, amazing. Okay, let me go back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is another amazing episode of the amazing show, Lifestyle Central, right here. We're coming out of Lagos City, but we know you're listening to us from everywhere around the world.
Definitely.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Even though we have all of this energy, Winfrey, today we're talking about something that's a bit sober.
Yeah, definitely. My name is Winfrey Daniel Kolo, by the way, and Edger doesn't see the need to introduce me, but that's absolutely fine.
But I mentioned your name now. I said Winfrey.
Oh, okay. You did. Okay. Beat me. Okay, so today we're actually talking about something that, as much as you say it's sober, I wouldn't necessarily want to accord soberness to it because, I think it has the sober side. Because, I know a lot of times when people say mental health, they think about, the bad part of it. Mm-hmm. But then again, mental health is mental health. So
okay,
it can
like
be
health.
negative, exactly.
You can positive. So fair enough. Yeah, true.
Or negative. So of course. But then again, we know we're going to be zooming in a lot on the negative side because we Nigerians, I think we have a reasonable amount of positive mental health. If you think of the fact that we're always joking and messing around, maybe that's actually an indication.
That may be a symptom of mental poor mental health.
An indication of poor mental health.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about mental health. So Ejiro, what is your take on this amazing, very important topic?
Very important. I think, in Nigeria, there's something we used to say, when we were younger, Nigerians cannot be depressed. Nigerians are too happy. Oh, Nigerians cannot commit suicide. Oh, we too like life. Wow. Right? And I feel like that whole vibe and energy really masked a lot of the things that people were dealing with growing up. It's
Definitely.
Because you're Nigerian, there are certain issues that you should not be having. Those are first world problems. How can you wake up and say you are depressed? What does that even mean? People be like, oh, are you hungry? No. Are you looking for money for school fees? No. And you are depressed. How? Why? What's the reason?
Exactly.
You cannot say, true. I'm struggling with why I'm here in this world, what I'm doing with my life. I don't think I'm actualizing. Please, carry this your first world problem out of our third world country.
But then again, I could actually understand it then because I think the rates of negative mental health actually increased over the years. And this is why I say so. Okay. Because then in those days, we didn't have social media. And whether we like it or not, social media has been one of the major additions to the mental health issues we're having, especially in Nigeria. Because those days, instead of sitting down in your house, having your phone in hand, being stuck on your phone, you're probably outside playing or taking strolls with your neighbors. Or I know, my childhood was like that. I actually took a lot of long strolls because, okay, fine, you watch TV. Okay, you come home most times, maybe TV is not even probably it's not yet 4 o'clock yet. Do you understand? So you have to find a way to keep yourself busy before all of that time. Do you understand? So I actually understand, from my understanding, I will actually say that yes, it has increased over the years, and social media is a major factor to the mental health issues we actually have in this part of the world.
I think
It is part of
I
the world.
agree. I think one, social media has had two impacts. One is social media has made it a more topical issue. It's something we're more comfortable talking about now because of how the world is now in one place. So people can now say, "Oh,
they can see that everybody's dealing with it."
Yeah, I'm depressed because
so, at a point it started.
It became a thing, a fad. But now it has.
A trend.
I remember. I don't know. I had someone who used to always say, "Please, before you say I am depressed, remember that depression is actually a medical condition. It's not just a feeling. It's not just, oh, I feel sad, so I'm depressed, right?" So I know it became a thing. But then also, I agree with you entirely. You know, back in the day, your competition was the immediate world that you could see.
Exactly.
So as a 19-year-old, 17 or 18-year-old, your competition was probably your
sister,
100
your friends,
classmates, friends, and members of your church.
Exactly.
That was your entire competition.
And I think the major thing to cause depression then was the type of food you brought to school.
Just do you get? But now, as a 19, 20, 21-year-old,
a
16-year-old, 15-year-old,
exactly.
Your competition is 7
the
billion
world.
people. You're seeing
the competition
people,
is Kylie Jenner at 22.
So
people, a billionaire.
People are 25 and already feeling like I haven't done anything in my life, and they have jobs though.
Exactly.
They probably already have 2 degrees,
true,
and they already feel like, oh, what am I doing with my life? I'm like, what do you mean? What are you doing with your life?
Even if you don't even have a job, even if you don't even have degrees, hello, Dangote is a person. Just
as in, I'm confused. What do you mean Dangote is a person?
He's a person.
What does that? What does that mean? Explain. Explain to the audience.
The life of Dangote, and you know that it's not about your education.
But he has a degree, sir.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have a degree, but you said 2 jobs. You said 2 degrees. And a job.
Yeah. Like you get people have already achieved reasonable things, and because they're comparing themselves with YouTube stars who are making $10 million somewhere in the US, and somebody who did something in South Africa who is now making $100 million, it's just like, oh wow, what am I even doing with my life? Because now you are being exposed to all of the highlights reel of highlights reels, which is social media. People have curated their lives to look so perfect, and then you're just like, oh wow, I have to match up to this. Well, you won't.
You definitely won't. And then again, another thing, let's also, as much as that also could be an issue to cause mental illness, also there are people who have and own blue chip companies and story buildings and still jump off the story buildings because of depression. That's just to tell you that money and wealth is definitely not, it doesn't make you make you immune to mental health issues and all of that. So so I think we should start with, I'd like to actually start with probably a definition. What would you say a proper definition of like mental health is, not mental health issues?
Do you mean mental well-being?
Mental health. Mental health, well-being.
Okay.
How are you doing mentally?
How you doing? I'll say your mental health is the state of your mind and your emotions.
Yeah. So it's basically the overall, well-being of your psychological, emotional, and social. I think that's the one part people actually leave out. Social, like the well-being of all of that combined together. And I don't know, there are a lot of factors that actually add up to cause mental health issues. What would you say is the, top most for you? Like, what do you think affects the world mostly?
Are you saying what is the biggest mental health issue, or what is the biggest thing?
What's the biggest thing that causes or that can cause it?
I would say trauma and abuse.
Okay.
I would say trauma and abuse. I think that, when we're all like growing up, not even just growing up, but as our life progresses, if we're exposed to abuse or trauma, abuse, not only physical abuse, also verbal abuse, emotional abuse, it could be bullying, whatever, it sort of shapes and impacts how we behave and the state of our minds.
Esteem issues.
And it could I think that's a lot of where a lot of things come. Also trauma. So if you experienced a significant loss in your childhood, like the loss of a loved one, loss of a parent,
even an accident,
or even an accident, exactly. Yeah, it could also impact on your mental health.
I had an accident in 2017. Or so.
Were you driving?
Thing, I was driving. Okay. That thing literally messed me up.
Winfrey is a crazy driver.
Don't do that.
Yes, I'm going to put it out there.
It depends. It's very relative. Please mind you, that is very relative.
Let's focus on the issue. Let's focus on the issue.
That is very relative.
Let us focus
How
on
is
the issue.
Winfrey crazy?
Winfrey, focus on the issue. Focus. Mental health. You're telling us a story about your traumatic accident in 2017.
By the way, that particular day, I was driving by my dad's standards. And when I say by my dad's standards, I mean 2 hands on the steering. I wasn't doing more than 60 kilometers. Like I'm so sure about that because I wasn't on an express. I was literally in, just to tell you, I think it just showed me that anything can happen at any time.
Yeah.
And all of that. So yeah, that definitely did affect me a whole lot and all of that. It didn't make me scared of driving, but yeah, I didn't drive for a while after that and all of that because of course you just get spooked out and all of that. So yeah. And I think another thing that also, we downplay a lot of things. I think getting something you actually hold really dear to you missing can actually also be traumatizing. I've had that experience before.
So, something like what?
I don't know, something. Just imagine,
like a phone.
let's say, exactly, if you're so close or so attached to your phone as a lot of people are these days and all of that, and then you lose it, it can literally keep you in a spot where it depends on how solid your mind is.
I get that. I would be more inclined to sympathize with someone who lost something that was symbolic to them, right? And because of that, then they start dealing with some attachment issues. But your phone, when we have cloud services, so like all your pictures are online. So basically, it is that you bought an expensive phone that you couldn't afford.
Stop it. Stop it. Anyways, another cause of mental health issues are genes. Sadly, you can actually inherit some mental cases and all of that, and is very, very inheritable and is actually quite sad if you ask me. I mean, family history and all of that. So there's that part, and there's also the part where, I mean, as you said, lifestyle issues and all of that. Then also brain chemistry.
Don't you inherit your brain chemistry? Like, is it not part of your gene makeup?
Yes, I think a part of it can be, but then again, I think
you can also alter it.
You can also alter it,
like with certain things that you do, like
exactly.
if you do drugs a lot,
exactly. Drugs, alcohol, and things like that can definitely cause it. And even aside that, I know we were talking earlier, and you actually mentioned PMS, right? Hormones in ladies, right, and all of that. I mean, is a monthly brain chemical or chemistry alteration every flipping month, and some people take it better than others and all of that. And of course, pregnancy too is something that, fine, it might not be a direct cause of mental health issues, but then again, we all know about how some people have postpartum issues, and sometimes it's actually really, really serious and all of that. Some people cannot just recover, actually don't recover from. I actually heard of a lady that actually had, I think after her 5th child, she literally lost her mind.
Yeah, you know, like in law school, right? Or it was in law school and in uni anyways. In criminal law, they taught us, like, there's a difference in criminal law, right? Of
insanity.
Where a woman, no, not just insanity. When, after childbirth, if a woman kills her child, there's a specific defense
for that
basically says that she has lost her mind.
Her mind at that point.
So we know that after childbirth, women can be in a very mentally fragile state. So pregnancy and childbirth impact mental health.
I mean, childbirth is like the most painful pain. Okay, I think the second most painful.
What's the first one?
I think the first one is burning.
Okay.
Burning. I think after that is childbirth, which is actually quite traumatic thinking about it alone. Okay, at this point, I think we'll take a quick break and then
you were feeling the mood, right?
Yes, we need to drink some energy. So we're going on a quick break, and then we'll come back with some more mental health discussions. Do not go anywhere, okay?
Listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
Hey guys! Welcome to Lifestyle Central, your one-stop shop for everything life and style.
On this show, we'll be talking about all the latest trends, the biggest news, and the best places.
So sit back, relax, call a friend, and enjoy.
Oh, by the way, my name is Winfrey Daniel Okolo.
And my name is Adro Esigbone, and this show is going to be boom shakalaka.
Welcome back. Like, it's actually such a vibe, man. Thank you, producer man, for that. Okay, so we're back and we're talking about mental health today. Adro actually prophesied that this was actually going to be a mood altering show. So sad.
And then we start talking about the pain of childbirth.
Yeah, actually, so it's quite understandable.
Did you start seeing your future when I started talking about the pain of childbirth? No, you didn't. Okay,
no, that's not the future I like to see. I will see it, but when I get there, I will see it. Anyways, we're still talking about mental health, and then of course we did a little research, and we actually had to check on the most, or rather, the top most common mental disorders in the world. Adro, what do we have? Okay, so we have anxiety disorder. Baba, calm down. Okay, sorry. We have anxiety disorder, right? So that one is, of course, I think a lot of us have gone through that. I think we all have at a point or something. I don't know. But then again, I think it's a mental health disorder when it's now excessive.
Okay, yeah.
Right? When it's excessive and like you literally are fixated on that particular issue that causes and all that. I think right after that, we had major depression disorder, and which is, I mean, we know what depression is, right? I mean, a feeling where you start feeling sad continuously, where you don't feel like doing anything, talking to anyone, you just actually want to be in there. And I actually have a tip. I actually heard that sunlight is actually something that's really good when it comes to those kind of feelings, right? But the problem is the ability or the strength to drag yourself out of the hole and then go get some sunlight. I think something, I won't lie, I've actually battled with. When I see depression, let me not say a lot, but a number of times. And I know the major issue for me was literally, see, everybody's looking at me. This wasn't that deep. Come on, I'm here, Nabi. But yeah, I will actually say it and all of that. I've literally gone through certain things in my life that literally put me in a place where, you know what, I'm locked in for like days. I'm not coming out and I'm not doing anything and all of that. Honestly, it's God has that helped. But yeah. I think majorly, one of the things I took away from all those experiences was movement always helps, right? Whenever I start feeling down and all of that, I just probably try to play on music and then probably start dancing. And then it's not like it goes away, bam. But then again, it's a gradual process out of it. And then the third most popular is bipolar disorder.
In Nigeria, the most prevalent mental disorder is actually depression.
Yeah, definitely.
Based on this data I'm looking at, it's depression is the most prevalent. And you know something I learned not so long ago about depression, because I've always been like a happy child, like, so I never really dealt with like sadness or depression. So that
voice alone make
those emotions are sort of out of my range. So but when I grew up as an adult, I started interacting with people who were dealing with these things. One of the things I learned is there's nothing like snap out of it now.
No,
like become happy. Do you get? Because sometimes it's almost like you're just impatient people who are depressed, and it's almost like undepress yourself now. Like go and watch film and be happy now. But I just learned that it's not that straightforward for them. Sometimes they do need professional help to help them, to pull them out of a hole. And I read an analogy somewhere saying telling a depressed person be happy now is just like telling a deaf person here now.
True,
so that's number one in Nigeria. Number two is generalized anxiety disorder, which you already spoke about. Number three is harmful alcohol use and dependence. So
which is absolutely understandable.
Yeah, which is absolutely understandable. A lot of people have dependence issues. I remember.
I feel like I know once upon a time I used to have that feeling. I know a lot of people around me will say, okay, you know what? Winfrey, you're too quiet. You're too uptight. That was the word. They always called me uptight. So at a point, back then in uni, I always felt the need to probably drink something when I'm out to be able to just loosen up and all of that. And then I now realized eventually that, no. I actually don't need to. Like, it might not be that easy for people, but honestly, now when I'm in a gathering, right, I tell people I don't drink. boldly and all of that. But then again, I noticed that even when I'm out with people that drink, I happen to still be the one gingering them. Stand up and dance now. Stop pressing phone now.
No, it has to kick.
What has to kick?
The alcohol has
I'm not
kick.
drinking. I'm not drinking.
I'm not drinking. But for people who have built dependence on alcohol, it has to kick before they can now express that. Yeah. Okay. So that's what dependence does for you.
Yeah, I think in the end, ignorance is actually what causes most of these things. I mean, if that's what you grew up thinking, do you understand? That's what you came to that point thinking that, okay, fine, I need this to be this way. It will always be like that. But by the time you sit down and think about it and see that your brain is actually a very powerful tool, you can actually control certain things, then I think you can be free from that. Yeah. Yeah,
I think those are top 3 in Nigeria. There's one here that I do not fully understand. I'm just going to skip by it, or maybe I can read it up quickly. It's called somatization.
Oh, okay. Before you get to that, right? There's also something something I also came across, that the dependency on either alcohol or recreational drugs can actually create for a vicious circle. So at a point you start feeling, so actually poor mental health can literally cause you to get alcohol or want to start drinking or want to drink more or smoke more and all of that. And then that state can also cause you to, it's just poor mental health equals alcoholism, recreational drugs equals poor mental health. So you get to a point where you feel depressed, you need this to uplift you and all of that, and then you start feeling like that and you now still go back to depending. I don't know if you understand. So it can actually just create a circle, a loop. You just keep on going round and round.
Create a dependence on drugs or alcohol. You beat yourself
makes you
up
feel
for
down.
Having this dependence, and you're like, because I'm beat up, I'm going to take drugs to uplift myself, and then cycle repeats.
Circle keeps on going round and round. It's just really crazy. So what's up with somatic?
This somatic symptom disorder is kind of confusing, but from what I'm reading here, and I think you all should go read it up, and then maybe someone should DM me with their own explanation, right? Ajiro.esigbone on Instagram. And probably only on Instagram. I think somatic symptom disorder, right, they say it's a focus on physical pain where you sort of glorify the pain that you're feeling. Yeah. And even when they tell you, oh, no, you're fine, there's no disease wrong. It's like, no, there must be something wrong with me.
There.
And you go head to that hospital. Yes. Sounds about right for Nigeria, I think. Somehow sounds about right. Sounds a bit familiar, where people are searching for healing or cures or
and in Nigeria it's even more difficult because our healthcare service,
so you don't know whether
it's true
or
exactly or the problem, so you can't actually even tell.
Yeah,
so it's just weird. Anyways, I think the country with the highest mental health issue is definitely America.
Is that in absolute number or percentage of citizens?
In an absolute number and percentage of citizens. Okay, no, actually not in number, because 1 in 5 adults are actually diagnosed of mental health disorder at one point in their lives, right? However, Nigeria happens to be low.
How low?
I don't know how low, but happens to be low in mental audits. But then again, you raised a point earlier and you actually mentioned, is that because we actually do not have so much of it, or because we don't have enough data, the proper data calculation?
I feel like there's a real data challenge there, because one, if you have mental issues in Nigeria,
if you're in Benin,
you may not end up in the hospital. You may end up in church or at the Babalawo. And those guys are not sending it out to anybody. Yeah, so there's that.
Are they?
No, Uselu they may be able to go to Uselu and get data out of Uselu, but
then again, have they caught all the mad people on the road? Is the first question.
Oh my God!
No, I'm just saying that.
But what we can acknowledge is that mental health issues are an issue for many people.
But then again, what we're actually looking at are the people that actually go to the hospital and actually say, okay, do you understand?
Exactly.
Okay, we're asking,
so
people that even go to church, do you understand? So what if people live with it as a normal way of life? What's that? What happened to me and you? I'm confused. No, but really, people actually live with it and they see it as their normal behavior. Do you understand? I was going through something. I was reading up on bipolar, right? And they talk about how overreacting is actually a sign of bipolar disorder. I honestly read up on I think the first 7 most popular symptoms of mental health disorder.
Everybody, disorder?
No, like mental health. The first, do you understand? I say I've experienced, and I feel everybody I know has experienced the first 7.
But it's about frequency. How frequent?
And how consistent you are in feeling that way,
Yeah.
I guess. So, yeah, of course. But then again, so let's maybe check it. The most depressed country happens to be Afghanistan.
Well,
And
well, can you blame them?
and the country with the least mental health disorder is Japan.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. As in data and research actually shows that most Asian countries are very low on mental health issues. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Is that?
That's actually...
I have so many questions. Their economic condition isn't horrible, but it's not as good as Europe, right?
But then again, it's not necessarily based on...
Yeah, I'm just trying
economic.
to Yeah, no, I'm trying to put what are the other factors. So
yeah.
economic condition is okay, but it's not great.
Yeah.
There's suppression in many places, so you probably don't have data out of China, North Korea, and maybe some parts of India.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can't even figure it out.
Okay.
I thought you would say somewhere in Europe, in like them Sweden, Denmark, all those places that have excellent quality of life and living.
And all of that, but not necessarily, because we know that this thing is really not. I mean, quality of life and all of that can be a factor, but honestly, it's not.
It's not just that.
It's not just that. But I'll say, of course. I mean, another thing is coming off a year like 2020. I mean, a lot of people did go through a whole lot of things. So I think they should probably do all of that analysis all over again and do you understand the numbers again? Because, I mean, a lot of people went through a lot. Like, I mean, sitting at home alone, you don't need to have a problem. Do you understand? Even if you're sitting at home, the fear of not knowing what's going to happen next, really, and all of that. Then, of course, talk about OCD. Something I think OCD, it's something that a lot of people should also, or we all should look into. Yeah, so we do have a recording and all of that. You want to throw more light on that?
Yeah. So Onyi will just be sharing very quickly with us on a few. Onyi will be sharing very quickly with us on her own take on mental health.
Yeah.
She has dealt with some mental health issues in her lifetime, and she's aware of that. And I feel that she may be able to provide little insight on some things we can share with everybody, and I think we should all hear. So, in a few seconds, we will go to Onyi, who will be talking to us. Yeah. But right about now, I think we'll go on a quick break, and when we're back, we'll listen to Onyi's take on mental health.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Lifestyle Central, your one-stop shop for everything life and style.
On this show, we'll be talking about all the latest trends, the biggest news, and the best places.
So sit back, relax, call a friend, and enjoy.
Oh, by the way, my name is Winfrey Daniel Okolo.
And my name is Adro Esigbone, and this show is gonna be boom shakalaka.
Hi guys, I'm gonna try and keep this short. I know you said I should introduce myself, but I would rather not say my name. But so I'll just introduce myself as New School. Asking me to speak about mental health and what it means and how it's viewed in this climate. Well, so mental health is really just like the condition of your emotional and psychological state. The same way you think about your physical health is how fit am I, how's my immunity, how regular am I in terms of how do I go to the bathroom, etc., etc. It's the same way I think we should think about mental health, physical, mental health. It's just what is the state of my mental health, how fit is my mental reasoning or ability, how immune is it to negative vibes. Those types of, I feel like that's generally the way when we think what is mental health, that's the way we should view it. I think that in this climate, though, we tend to think of mental health as mental illness. So when people say mental health, people immediately just think bad. So somebody is depressed, or somebody has anxiety, or somebody has this, that, something that is, air quotes, wrong with them. And I'll take it a step further and say that in this environment, you don't even just think of something as wrong, because something that is wrong has a solution, right? So if you're ill, if you have malaria, you can take medicine. Same way if you have anxiety, there are things that you can do to help with that. But like in this society, we don't even see it as just, oh, there's something wrong, as they need help. They see it as taboo, as per, for a lack of a better way to say this, they are mad or they are doomed, or it's a very, very negative way is the way we view our mental health in this country. And I think that is very wrong, because I think that it's just the condition of your mind. And the same way you work on your body to keep your body healthy, you should be working on your mind to keep your mind healthy. He said, any personal experience I would like to share on the importance of being conscious about your mental health. Well, I have a very close relationship with my mental health. I wasn't very aware of the concept of mental health or mental well-being or any of those things until my late teens. But when I think back about the things that I had experienced, I in conversations with my parents and my siblings, I had my very first existential crisis when I was about 10. And for those who don't know what an existential crisis is, it's basically someone contemplating the meaningfulness of their life and the point to it. So I was in a place at 10 years old where I was thinking, what is the point of life? So we're just going to go to school, then we graduate and we get a job, then we have children and we just die. Is there God? Is there heaven? What's the point of all of this? And it used to take me to a very dark place where I didn't want to function. Think about this. This is a 10-year-old who is just starting GS1. And so I battled very early on with like the state of my mental well-being. I would be very sad. I would be very anxious. And that showed itself as a teenager in being rude, being mean, being very, I was a bully in school. It just came out in very, very negative ways. And I didn't think anything about it until I was like in uni. Thankfully, I went to a very good university that offered some mental health support. So I just noticed that I wasn't doing well in school. I was sad. I was crying randomly for things I didn't understand. And so I started seeing someone. I started seeing a therapist. And we just started unpacking things that had happened in my childhood that I had suppressed. Things that, is for a different conversation. But the point is basically, that was when I first encountered the idea that I had anxiety, the idea that I was depressed, the idea that, perhaps I wasn't aware of or taking care of my mental health. And it was showing itself in ways that I didn't like, and I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the way I was treating people around me. And I was aware that I was treating people in a negative way, but I wasn't stopping it. So that's generally been my experience. I think I've learned ways to cope. I didn't have to go on any medication, even though I had a few hormonal imbalances. And so that's another thing that people don't realize, is that your mental health sometimes is very much controlled by the state of your hormones. So I had a bit of a hormonal imbalance that was causing me to be sad a lot more. You guys can read up on all of this, but the point is basically I could have taken something that would have regulated my moods, but I didn't need to. There were other ways that I learned to cope. And then once I moved to Nigeria, I also had developed a relationship with God. Not to make this a whole Christian thing, but I highly recommend him. He's pretty cool. And then, I haven't had an experience like that in a while. I think sometime in 2019 was maybe the last time I had a very bad episode where I couldn't get out of bed. And that's kind of the consequence, right? You're seeing yourself in a way where you can't function. That impacts like your livelihood, your ability to eat, your ability to work. So those are things that you should just be conscious of, in my opinion, when it comes to your mental health. Like, the effects can be detrimental. We just read about a young man who just took his life, and those are consequences that of not paying attention or not being aware enough about how to care for your mental health or how to care for your loved one's mental health. That was a long-winded answer. Sorry, guys. Tips for people listening on mental health and things you should watch out for. To be fair, for your own mental health, I think you should be just aware of things that make you feel different in ways that you don't like to feel, and things that make you behave in ways that you don't like to behave. Just be aware of your triggers. I think be conscious is basically what I'm trying to say. Don't go through life just being. Be conscious of how you're thinking, of what you're saying, of how you're feeling. When you're thinking about how you're feeling, you're more likely to, pay attention and take better care of yourself. And just approach it how you would approach your fitness. Hey, I want to be fit. I want to be able to climb up the stairs without being winded. Hey, I want to be able to have hard conversations without ending up in tears. I want to be able to, approach a big audience without dying from anxiety. Think of your mental health the same way you think about your physical health, and then just be conscious of it and work on it on a regular basis. And then watch out for your loved ones when they change their behavior, when they become recluse, when they're complaining. Don't just, push things under the rug and avoid. Any other thing that I think the audience should know, I think don't think of mental health or mental ailments or any mental illness as a bad thing or as a taboo thing. It is just, something is wrong, and more often than not, it can be fixed. People can get better. It can be treated. You can work through it. There are solutions. It is not the end of the world. Know that you are loved, and make sure you let your loved ones know that they are loved and that they can come to you with whatever it is that they're dealing with. And if you are the person that's in that situation, then know that you can come to, how do I describe this? Know that your life, it has meaning. There are people that you can speak to. If you don't have anybody to talk to, you know what? Ask Ejiro and Winfrey for my number, and you can call me and speak to me. But you are valuable, and your mental health matters. You matter is how I would sum this up. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
Hey guys, welcome to Lifestyle Central, your one-stop shop for everything life and style.
On this show, we'll be talking about all the latest trends, the biggest news, and the best places.
So sit back, relax, call a friend, and enjoy.
Oh, by the way, my name is Winfrey Daniel Okolo.
And my name is Ejiro Esigbone, and this show is going to be boom shakalaka.
Welcome back. Okay, so Onyi, of course, definitely went all in on that one, and I'm sure, thank you so much. Thank you so much. She actually said that we could get give her her number,
yeah,
and then if you want to speak to her, feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much, Onyi.
Thank you. Okay, so about now, I definitely did do some research on some organizations have actually done great work as regards mental health in the country, and I would like to start from Neem Foundation. This particular one is in Borno State. It's a non-profit, right, and it has definitely helped a whole lot, thousands of Boko Haram survivors to actually get through their traumatic experience with all of that happening. So definitely is in Borno. So yeah, shout out to Neem Foundation. And of course, if you are in that part of the state and then you know anyone or you're going through something related to Boko Haram issues, you definitely should reach out to them. Another one is the Mentally Aware Nigeria Initiative. So Mani is in Lagos, and of course they usually help to connect mental health professionals with people that actually need such help. Also check them out on Facebook, social YouTube, Twitter, and all of that. Then this particular one is She Writes Woman, and this they actually happen to have the first 24 hours call Center as
awesome.
Healthcare Line. I mean, this started in July 2016, and they actually are also the founder of Safe Place Nigeria, which is a walking mental health clinic where you could actually go and also have all this addressed. The next one actually caught my interest because it's actually for men. So a lot of times we see a lot of initiatives for women. We know all of that and all of that. But Love, Peace and Mental Health Foundation also have an arm which is actually dedicated to men's support. So it's actually the sub arm is Umbrella, which happens to be a men's only support group. They actually meet monthly and they also discuss issues that men go through that could actually have and hamper their mental health. So of course, so those are a few that have actually done like really well, and you can definitely reach out to them on social media and all of that. So Idoro mentioned a toll-free number to actually call.
Yeah, so if you're struggling with mental health issues, there's a toll-free number, 0800 800 2000, 0800 800 2000. I hear that they would make available to you trained and licensed counselors for free. No airtime required. You can call anywhere from Nigeria and you can call anytime, any day. I think that is really amazing.
That's really, really amazing. You should probably take the number again.
080 800 2000, 0800 800 2000.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you're dealing with mental health issues or you believe that you may be and you're listening to us, don't feel shy. One of the things that people often feel is like, oh, I'm the only one that's alone. I don't want to call me mad, but you aren't mad. Mental health issues.
Did you say you are mad?
You aren't mad.
Okay.
Mental health issues are things that all of us, many of us, not all of us, but many of us are going through. So you aren't alone. And yeah, we love you. So call the number or reach out to a counselor around you.
Yeah, definitely do. Okay, so right about now, without any further ado, we're going straight into trending. And the first story I'd like to take on trending is the story that literally prompted this particular topic today. So we have Dele Bandele, who's actually very popular, and he was missing for some days, and after a couple of days, 2-3 days, he was actually found dead, and a note was found at some point that actually stated
after his body was found.
His body was found and all of that, a note that it was alleged he wrote before he died. The last points that people say they saw him was at the 3rd Mainland Bridge. So a lot of people were actually speculating that he probably jumped into the lagoon and all of that. So
and his body was found.
But then again, his body was found. After that. So it was actually really sad. The note was like a 2-page note, and it did talk about how he was dealing with mental health for about 7 years. And I think the line that caught me the most in the whole letter, which I will not want to read here because we're not trying to make anybody depressed, is that life is a party. Once you stop having fun, jet out. A lot of people actually reacted on social media. I mean, speaking about mental health issues, sharing their issues and talking about how a lot of people think, okay, popularity is the end of it and all of that. We don't know what people are going through and all of that. I mean, it's the beginning of the year. After going through 2020, I mean, I think a lot of people were happy that, they just made it to the end of the year. But then again, we really don't know what's going in or going through people's minds. So whatever you do, please check on the ones you love, and then you never know. He actually said he declined sending his mom a note because he knew that writing the note alone would discourage him from taking his life. So he couldn't do that because they were really close. So please do check on the people around you. It's really a sad situation, and we do pray that his soul rests in peace.
Yeah, I think the only thing I want to add to that is a lot of people are in fragile states and we are not aware. I think that we should make being nice mainstream again. Yeah. It seems like what's mainstream now is how savage you can be. And if you're just a regular person like me, gauge your mental state to know which social media app you should be using.
Exactly.
To be very honest, I don't think that everybody can use Nigerian Twitter or Twitter in general. I don't think that everybody can use Instagram. I believe that sometimes we need to step away from some of these apps that are doing a lot of good, but also can be damaging. Nigerian Twitter is a war zone. Like, you can tweet one thing and the amount of backlash you receive, you feel like, what? Am I even like a normal human being? So I would say on one hand, people should try and make kindness mainstream again. On the second hand, we need to watch out for ourselves and the people around us and people we love.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true. And yeah, please, when you feel pressured from social media, please step out. You're not doing your life is actually more important, and your mental state is more important than any popularity you want to gain from being consistent on social media 3 times a day, every blessed day. Please don't fall into that trap. All right. Okay. So now enough of the gloom. Can we please move to another frequency, Drew? Take the wheel.
Okay. Yeah. Second topic on trending today is Africans are once again fighting for their democracy, this time in Uganda. Bobi Wine, who I've actually followed his story for like maybe 5-6 years now, on and off. He's been freedom fighting in Uganda for quite a bit. He has been arrested a lot. I watched a video of his wife being beat up by some soldiers. Her clothes were torn, and his son was fighting the soldiers and saying, leave my mommy alone, leave my mommy. It was a really sad thing to watch, but I know that all of that fight, he's doing it for good. He's running against Museveni, who has been president of Uganda since 1985. When he became president, Bobi Wine was 4 years old. And now he's using every single thing within his power. He has basically taken them off the internet. He has blocked Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything. He's using soldiers to oppress people. I was reading this morning that in some parts of Uganda where Bobi Wine is really popular, that soldiers arrived with already ticked ballots and gave it to people to cast.
Wow.
So there's a lot that is going on, and the country and all of people are basically fighting for their lives. And I was telling someone, I was like, I don't get all of these leaders who never want to leave office. I get that it is greed and it's narcissism and basically they're crazy people. But like, the country isn't even doing well. So it's not like they are running a proper organization that you're now saying, okay, they don't want their work to be destroyed. They are doing a horrible job at leading the country, and they do not want change.
If you ask me.
Yeah,
I see mental health from me. I mean, you spoke about the trauma he literally had, so it's very possible that literally has made him power drunk, because he has probably observed from the point of being victimized and all of that, and probably is dedicated in his heart that he will do anything to get power and keep power. So yeah, it could definitely be a mental case issue. So mental case is not only about being down and depressed now. Some people actually take it the other way. And I hope Bobi Wine wins, and I hope the people of Uganda can finally breathe. And I know that even if Bobi Wine wins, I'm probably going to come up saying, well, what has he done after 1 year, after 2 years? No, that's not what it's about. It's about people being able to choose their leaders, and we keep on fighting this fight in many places in Africa. I think that we need to figure this out. So hopefully Bobi Wine is able to lead these people out of this big fight, this terror of dictatorship, and to the other side where they actually choose their destinies for themselves. That's my trending topic for today. Okay, so we'll probably still remain on the streets of the media, and we'll probably just touch on the fact that Donald Trump has been banned from Twitter.
Banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook, banned from YouTube, banned from Snapchat.
I think I actually took in the Twitter part because, come on, it's Twitter and it's Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's his kingdom.
That's his, literally, what do they want him to do?
He had 80 million followers.
Crazy. And then the stocks crashed following that.
Whose stocks?
Twitter.
But they'll be all right.
They will definitely be all right. But then again, I love the position of the owners, because he's definitely like, you know what, this is the right thing to do. We cannot have somebody who incites people and all of that and negatively to literally continue putting out stuff because, because of our own profit and gain and all of that. So I think that was a very, very solid thing he actually did. And then Donald Trump being banned from Twitter is huge. Yeah. And I don't know, but then again, let's see how that literally goes. I'm a little bit worried about him because I don't know how it's going to go.
I'm going to pivot from there, right? Because Donald Trump being banned from Twitter has made some people now speak about, censorship. Is this what censorship is? This is what we're talking about when we're talking about social media bill. I beg to disagree. I beg to disagree because Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all of these big social media platforms have rules that all of us were supposed to abide by.
Exactly.
Right?
But then again, we click the agree. I agree
exactly.
without reading them.
We all agree not to incite violence. We all agree not to deliberately spread false news. We all agree to these things. So I think that Twitter is well within their right to ban Donald Trump. This is not censorship of an ideology. This is not saying you can't speak about certain things. This is saying you, Mr. Man, are not allowed to continue to lie and incite violence.
I mean, it started from them deleting his tweets, right? And they tried to do it subtly, but then again, see what happened. And I mean, that is definitely, and I feel it's definitely an action in the right direction. And just throwing in a little bit comic relief there. Tunde Not was banned on Instagram, and then we got to find out that he came back, grew his account again to
1 million,
and then
he was banned again.
The account was deleted again. Like, actually, so
talk about village people.
Talk about that. So I mean, that's his livelihood. But then again, I feel bad now because that's actually his means of livelihood. So what, at least is major, at least the one we can see. So like, what's going to happen from there? But then again, it's Tunde Not. I'm sure he'll be fine.
He'll bounce back again with another account. I think this time he won't say King Tunde Not when he reaches 1 million again. He'll be a bit more humble. He'll be a bit more. Do you really think it's about that? Do you really think it's about the king? I don't think so. But who knows? Who knows?
Okay, so we're about the segment, last few minutes of the show, and we're about to dash into the spotlight segment. Okay, and today, since we talked about mental health, or since we were talking about mental health, we decided, don't lie, you decided. Sorry, I was trying to not be a certain way. I decided that, it's been a beautiful, long, engaging, amazing week, and then of course I'm sure a lot of us would want to chill out and we just decided to probably just give you some movie ideas you can actually watch over the weekend. And these movies are the top best movies on mental health. Okay, so we did this because it's one thing to say, oh, okay, I feel sad about this person. I'm feeling for this person. But it's another thing to actually watch the way these people actually handle these things and actually find out when they get to that point and all of that. You never know. You might actually pick a thing or two. I mean, about a family friend, a friend or a family or yourself and all of that. So, of course, they are really nice movies I think anybody and everybody should probably watch. Number one will be Rain Man, and this is actually a movie from 1988, and it's about autism. The second one is What About Bob, 1991, and it's about anxiety. The third one is As Good As It Gets, 1997, and it's about OCD. I definitely want to see that one. I've not seen that one. The next one, which I have seen, is A Beautiful Mind, is 2001, and is about schizophrenia. It stars Russell Crowe in it, and I definitely love this movie. I've seen this movie more than once, I'm sure more than twice, because it's actually so heartfelt. You actually see how he goes through, the whole situation and how he struggles to when he doesn't believe, and then when he finally believes. It's actually is a movie, and the movie is actually a true life story. I think that's a catch for me. Number 5 is Silver Lining Playbook, 2012. It's about bipolar disorder. And number 6 is and number 6 is The Skeleton Twins, 2014, and it's about depression. Number 7, which I feel everybody should watch tonight, is Inside Out. It's 2015, and it's about general mental health, right? This one is actually about it's an animation, which actually makes it one of my favorite mental health movies of all time, because it actually shows about the different. It shows emotions as representation, represented as emojis in your head. So you see the red guy, who's obviously anger. You see the green guy, who's obviously jealousy. And it's about a girl, and they just take us into her head and see how all the emotions literally take their turns and all of that, how she flips from happy to sad and all of that. They also have how they show us how her memory literally fades off as she grows. It's a really, really insightful movie, and I think everybody should. Idra, I don't know whether you don't watch movies. What do you do?
Calm down, please. I make movies in my spare time.
Oh, hey, excuse you.
And I saw Omogeto last night, and it was dope. But this is a sidebar. Yeah, so
it was dope. Okay.
It was dope. Yeah,
okay,
I give it 7.
You're giving it 7.
I give it 7.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, maybe I'll see it, because I've been hearing about some movies that dropped, and I'm like,
no. This one is alright.
Okay,
Funke did a good job.
Definitely, yeah, of course. It's Funke Akindele. But then again, how did he get here? Stop it. It's been an amazing, amazing show. Definitely an enlightening one. Okay, yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, and so as we close out, we can just listen to one more talk on mental health, which is our topic for the day, from Karina. and she will just be talking to us very quickly in a very short message on her take on mental health, what we can.
And right after that, we will actually just wrap up. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. It's definitely always lovely to be with you. My name is Winfrey Daniel Okolo.
My name is Onyi Baby.
Signing out. Bye.
My name is Karina Karen Wee. I'm a project engineer, and I also host body image and mental health workshops. So, of course, as I'm sure you know by now, we're talking about mental health. And I think this is a very apt and timely discussion, because it goes without saying that last year was very difficult, and even this year has been quite challenging for a lot of us. And the difficulties have highlighted the importance of looking after our mental health. And also, in my opinion, it's highlighted the importance of looking after our health holistically, not compartmentalizing and sectioning of, okay, today's for my mental health and today's for my physical health, but more so looking at it as an all-round general discussion. Mental health to me is generally just your well-being, the way you view life, your perspective, how you're able to process situations, how you're able to go into the day-to-day, how you're able to stay in the present but also be aware of the future, and process the past in order to help you in your present and future. Personally, I've had my ups and downs with my mental health. I have a hormonal imbalance disorder called polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, and it's very common for that to affect your mental health. Because, of course, our mental health stems from our brains, and hormones control our brains, the chemical balance of our brains. So just these experiences, generally life, has taught me how to really prioritize my mental health, how to take preventative measures, and how to build routines, as opposed to trying to fix things when they begin to crash and burn, because it's quite difficult to dig yourself out of a hole when you could just avoid getting to that hole completely. I'm somebody who's a huge advocate for therapy, so I'm in therapy. I think it's fantastic. I think everybody, every single person can benefit from therapy. It is not some tool that you use when something is terribly wrong. I think it's just a healthy...
Hey guys, welcome to Lifestyle Central, your one-stop shop for everything life and style.
On this show, we'll be talking about all the latest trends, the biggest news, and the best places.
So sit back, relax, call a friend, and enjoy.
Oh, by the way, my name is Winfrey Daniel Okolo.
And my name is Adro Esigbone, and this show is going to be boom shakalaka.
Listening to Africa Business Radio, where you get up-to-date insights on the Africa business landscape. Log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available on podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.